Just so you know, as a reminder, I did start the process of moving funds from Robinhood over to Thinkorswim, and I just completed my first week with the new funds in Thinkorswim. So we will get to that, but just for a quick overview, you can see what's still left in my Robinhood. So let me maximize this at least a little bit. But I have 15 shares of TQQQ still, just because it's doing pretty well right now. Overall, it's up $100, so 706 from $761 is the market value at least. And then I still have these two options that expire May 1st. Those are up 84% and 78%. So I can sell now, but to sell them, I gotta buy back their current prices, which is, I think it's the market value. Yeah. So the market value of $1.42, which is 141 and some change, and then 84 from the 0.81 cents. So this one cost me $84 to close, which I've collected 532. This one will cost me 141 to close, which I've collected 664. So just take the difference, and that's how much I'll total collect, which I may or may not do depending on what happens on Monday, and just finalize getting out of the Robinhood positions and leave this TQQQ probably for as long as possible, to be honest with you, and just let this $700 play out. So today, which is Saturday, you can see overnight it's up $3. Past week, we are up 15%. Past month, 18%. And then since I started this Robinhood, 7%. So past 3 months, make sure that's right. Yeah, 19%. My bad. Past 3 months, we're up 19%. So just to show you, if I go to all, it's the same thing, 19%. And it doesn't matter if I withdraw. It doesn't count the withdrawal. So now it looks like, I started from 8,745, and we're up to 10,421. Not too bad. Now let's go to the Thinkorswim account. So, semi-individual, I got $20,000 in there. So far, I've already made, like I told you, really $214 is what it's saying it's at. But I like to go off this number. This number includes the puts that I'm selling. So if I started at 20,000, I have to gain $758 from these open positions. So I'll go over the open positions first, and I'll go over that closed position and why this is saying 214. But total unrealized and realized $122. I still have $667 to pull that will get me to this number by the end of these expirations, assuming everything expires worthless, which is what you are aiming for. So here they are right here. You can look at them. The numbers that I care about is this one right here. So market value, I have $544 still. Today's current change, $104. So my cost basis, $667. So that's why you see this number right here, and you see this number right here. Once this reaches zero, which I may sell out before it reaches zero, it'll be at this number. So if I have to buy back any contracts, this number will change accordingly. But if everything expires worthless, then by the end of 2 weeks, I have two ending April 17th, which is this Friday coming up, and then the next week's April 24th, I have 3 for this week, and then 2, 3, 4 for next week. So assuming everything expires worthless, again, 20,758 will be how much I made after 2 weeks. So pretty cut and dry. Now, if we go to realized, so I've only had one contract, which that contract was worth around $93, which you can see right here, total proceeds $93. And I did buy it back before it expired worthless, so that's why it says total 91. So I had to pay about $2 and some change to close it out because it was only worth 2 cents, and why not? I did that on Thursday, so I made a new trade on Friday, which I'll start showing the trades as I do them. It's just sometimes it happens randomly and it ain't planned out because I'm just sitting here watching the market. So I can't just have my video recording and I'll just edit out, when I go to make the trade. So you're not just watching 3 to 5 hours of me just sitting here watching the markets. Or I can start showing you my day trades that I have on this account right here. So I do have some trades open. But right now this is at 5,000. Started this around 35, under 4,000. And now it's at 5,000. So pretty chunky gains. But going back to the Charles Schwab. So after the first week, $100. Well, $93. So here's what's the contract I had. It was a 410. So it closed. Or it was supposed to expire on 410, which was just this past Friday. But I closed it early. And collected $91, including commissions. So this took out the commissions already, and this is what I net, $91 that week, off of about $3,000. So pretty chunky gains on that too. So if I go to the summary, so this includes what I have left over in Robinhood, the same number I just showed you, and then what I have in my individual trading account, and then some cash I still have left over in the Charles Schwab checking account. So this I do have attached to my debit card. So if I do need to spend some money, I just put it on this debit card right here and I go shopping. But luckily I'm a very frugal person, so I don't do too much shopping. Here's the open trades. So just have a look at that. Here's the USDC I have in Robinhood. Here's the 15 shares that I have in Robinhood. And then the blacked out ones are what's left over in Robinhood. So those two options that I just showed you are right here. And these clickable ones are the ones that I have in TD Ameritrade. So I programmed this to where it shows everything. So I'm being completely transparent. You can even see like everything totaled down here. So, but including unrealized, so far I'm at $31,000. So once everything's completely changed over, you won't see too much in Robinhood. But until then, I'll keep this as is so we can see what's going on between my Robinhood and my Charles Schwab. But that's it. Still making gains even though the market has been down. So as you can see in a down market or up market, I know what I'm doing. Trying to show you guys little by little. I know I haven't shown me actually making my trades or why I make these trades, and that's just because it's hard to time. I'll just have to be either live streaming or just recording it. So until I actually get people watching my videos, that's when I'll actually start showing more and more, because I'll have people watching. But I guess for now I'll just keep it to recordings, and I'll try to start recording my trades. But that's it. Actually, I know I said that's it, but I forgot about this. So I can show you. See, if I go to max, it's only been 1 week, like I told you. Your account gained $214 from April 22nd, and it's counting my unrealized cash. So that's why it says 214, because I am up about $110 or so on those puts. But it's only been 1 week, and I've made 1.9%, which I'm trying to average around 3% a week. So once all the money gets here and I start, willing and dealing, you'll see my average will be around the low end 1%, the high end 3% a week, which sounds like a lot, and it is a lot, especially when you're just selling puts and not day trading. So $20,000 invested, up $214. So that's why you see $20,214, because it's taking some unrealized puts that if I was to sell right now, I'll make $110 just because I only did them Friday evening. So it hasn't even been 24 hours because Saturday and Sunday doesn't count. So come Monday, it'll be probably 2 hours in and I made $110. But come Monday, we can also drop 1%, which I hope that does happen, because then I can better position myself. That's why I leave so much cash sitting aside, and then throughout the week I just start selling puts. And if we don't get a big drop, then I have some little money trickling in. If we do get a big drop, then hopefully I still got cash set aside. If I don't, then I just leave my account as is, and it'll recover when the market recovers. So now that's officially it. Just wanted to show you this performance of my portfolio for the past week. And it's only been a week, so even if I click on max, it's just a week. So, and I'll probably start my videos from this checkpoint when I get everything switched over.